Hello and welcome back to the Apocalypse. My name's Vormithrax and this is episode number 66 of our tutorial Let's Play for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. So when we left off last episode, we had just returned from a trip out and about. We visited the refugee center, found out that most of the NPCs seemed to be okay. One of their dormitories had apparently let an infected zombie in and it killed everybody, and they all went zombie and started breaking out. That was the group of zombies I had seen when I did a drive-by before. So we cleaned up that mess and everything else seems to be okay up there. Then we headed off to the west, avoiding the fungal blooms and such out in that area, and visited the mansion. Didn't find anything too useful out there, unfortunately, just a few minor items, but mostly it was a disappointment. Then we came back over to the northern area of the refugee center and went ant hunting. So we killed a bunch of ants, butchered them up, and brought a big pile of meat back with us. On the way back, we remembered that we had found a nice armored car that is in pretty good working condition, and I am going to go retrieve that armored car. So in between episodes, I did what I mentioned. I unloaded the vehicle that and all the equipment we brought back, got it all sorted out into the piles, and I have gotten our cart loaded up and ready to go retrieve that vehicle that we need to make some repairs on. So we're going to try to drive that down here and use that as our primary killing vehicle. So in addition, I also went ahead and used our smoking portable smoker to preserve all the meat that we brought back. So it's all been converted into two different kinds. I did I did convert some of it to dehydrated meat, but the bulk of it I just turned into the smoked meat that we've been having so much of. So that gave us a pretty good supply of meat. So I think we're all set. Between the dehydrated meat, vegetables, fruit, we're pretty good to go for a while. As long as we don't do any really long learning sessions where we spend a week just holed up doing nothing but reading books, I think we'll be okay. So I think we're all set. I've told my NPC buddy to just stay here. We don't really need to take him on this trip. Should be pretty clear all the way up there. Other than that, taking a look at our status, we are tired. I think I'll jump in and take a nap before we take off. Get rid of that tired status, and we'll eat and drink some as well to clear that out. So let's leave the cart behind, and we'll just drink some of that. Alright, and we'll eat some of our smoked meat, and then run down and take a quick nap. Okay, and our power system is not regenerating very fast at all, so we don't have nearly enough solar panels to really generate electricity in a reliable fashion. So while the grid is functional, it's not very efficient. So if we take a look, we are at 36% of capacity of battery power. So one of the batteries is at 63, the other one's at 8. And we do have some fully charged batteries with some small damage to them just laying around on one of our stockpiles. So should we run low, we can just swap one of those out if we need to. So I'm not overly concerned there. All the tools are charged up. And let me just top off our food and drink real quick. Okay. So condition-wise, we're doing good. No issues there. Everything's fine. And in the cart, we've got some water and food, and then I'm bringing along our charged tools. I'm not 100% certain what we're going to need and what I might want to fix. So I brought the soldering iron, the cordless drill, the UPS, which has got 1,000 charges in it, and the welder, which has got 500. So I can use the welder. If it runs out of 500 charges, then I can just recharge it using the UPS battery pack. We've got the welding goggles, and we're going to need these in order to put those tanks that we set next to that vehicle to get these installed. Then the toolbox, and just in case, I'm bringing the bottle jack as well. So I think that will give us everything we need. The only other thing I did of note is I repaired our cartsy. So now he's got nice, clean, fully repaired 4-inch casters, and I pulled those off of this vehicle here. We had found an engine crane previously, so I just pulled the casters off of it because we're not using this very often. I do want to make sure I grab some casters from a shopping cart that's out and about, and we'll do that. I've also used up a pretty fair amount of our charcoal supply. I don't think we have much. I've still got 600 charges, so that's a decent amount, but I'll probably need to make one more charcoal run before we take off as well. Other than that, that's the status of the workshop, the vehicles, and our characters, so let's go ahead and get moving. Basically, we are just going to run straight north up to Madison, and right there is where this armored car is located that we're going to try to fix up and drive back again. And I'm debating, I thought there was a gas station over here somewhere. Maybe I'm misremembering. There's a veterinarian clinic. Yeah, I must be misremembering. I think it's down south that had the gas station right there. Yep, there's the gas station in Maynard. I don't remember on that gas station if I've pulled everything out of there or if I left. And also whether they had any diesel pumps. Well, let's go get the vehicle first and then we'll make some decisions after that. So we've got safe mode turned on, so I'm just going to quick move my way up north. I think we had a rampant moose up this direction at one time. I'm not as afraid of them now. Whoa, let's get a weapon out though. Steel spear. Alright. And my personal inventory you can see here as well. Oops, I accidentally brought the smoker along with me. But otherwise we should be fine. We can unload some stuff into the back of the vehicle when we get up there anyway. So this should be the road, yep, around the refugee center. We'll just angle off this way a bit. And then head north again. Again, with static zombies, and we've been through this area a few times now, it should be fairly clear. From the southwest we hear a terrible shriek. There's a shrieker over there somewhere. Alright. Well, here's the vehicle. So let's just go ahead and get these tanks installed first thing. Okay, so right there in the driver's position is one of the tanks, so we're going to tell it to remove the tank. We've got everything we need to do that. And we'll tell it to install. Try this again. Install. Alright. Why is it telling us components required 1 metal tank 2 liter, but it doesn't matter what I'm trying to pick here? I'm a little confused about what's going on. That's what I want to install. What am I missing? I'm holding a metal tank with 60 liter. Metal tank, 60 liter. Let's try unloading the held version into a container, the one on the pavement. So, I've now got an empty metal tank, 60 liter. Can we install it now? Yes. Alright, so for some reason they're not allowed to weld with fuel in the tank. I'm shocked. I can't imagine why that would be a bad idea to apply a welding flame to diesel fuel inside of a gas tank. Alright, so we got a tank there now, so now we're going to unload... no, we're going to examine the car. We're going to refill that tank from... No, before we do that, let's repair the tank. Alright, this is why I brought all the tools. So now we've got a fully repaired tank, so it's not going to leak in any way. So now we're going to fill the tank from the diesel tank that we have on the pavement. Alright, that gets us 9% diesel. Pretty sure that'll get us down to back down to the base. Shouldn't be a problem. And now we're also going to go find any other tanks. I know there's at least one more somewhere on this vehicle. was pretty sure there was one more tank. Huh, was I mistaken about that? Interesting. Could have sworn there was a second tank on this vehicle. I am just not seeing it if it's there. It's floating right by my eyes. Huh, alright, well, let's see where it will let me install one. Let's try right here. We'll try to install vehicle tank. Alright, and then we're going to repair vehicle tank. Okay, so we got the two tanks installed now, and you can see them over here. So diesel in one and the other one's empty currently. Anything else we would need to repair before we move? I'm not worried about the spikes or the front there. We're missing a headlight, so let's make sure that we are moving during the daytime. Can we repair that one? Nope, we gotta have a reinforced headlight to replace it with, so that won't work. I'm gonna leave it in place to remind me of that, and that's not critical. All the engine components are great. The battery, alternator, and engine are all in perfect condition, which is wonderful. Let's try to repair the controls. Repair the seat. Alright. Everything else is looking pretty good. Charges out of the welder? Sure, do it. Alright, so the welder is too low on charges, so let's take a look at the UPS. I haven't actually used it yet, so let's grab it. I'm not sure if you activate it or exactly how it works. It's been a long time since I tried using one. Alright, do we activate it? We can't do anything with it. You wear it? No. If I go to my welder, can I activate the welder? That does the repair option. So how do I use the UPS? Did I misunderstand its use, and is it only going to be usable for power armor and guns? I thought I would be able to use it to run the welder as well. Yeah, it's telling me I don't have the charges. Well, I'm a little unsure. I thought that UPS would allow me to recharge these tools on the fly, but yeah, I'm not seeing how to go about actually doing it if it's possible. I don't think wielding it's going to essentially do anything. It won't activate. None of the other commands. Can I reload my welder from the UPS? So if I go to my welder and hit reload, can't reload a welder. Well, if it's possible, I'm not sure how to do it. So we're done repairing, apparently. So now I have the problem that this thing doesn't actually look like it has any cargo. Didn't take that into account. Well, the seats have minor amounts of cargo. There is some trunk space right there and there, so... Alright, so let's move to here and transfer to there. Right there. Everything. And drop into there. The welder. UPS's power's draining. I wonder if it's slowly charging up any tools. That's probably what's happening. Maybe it has a trickle charge. I'll have to check that, because it's draining power. Huh, interesting. Alright, so the UPS is at 963. The welder's at 37. Much volume for me to pick them both up. Well, we'll figure it out later. Alright, so theoretically, this is an operational vehicle. Let's find out. Car starts right up. Great. Let's zoom out. And everything's looking fine. Let's just go ahead and get moving. Oh yeah. A little wide, so it's got a fat ass, but I'm really not worried about running bushes and stuff over. Not in this vehicle. So I won't need to do as much dodging. By habit, I'll probably still try to avoid things. But this one I'm pretty sure can just go right over things. Once you've got a good welder and a good power supply available, you can do repairs when you come back to base pretty easily. Alright, let's park this one. I think we'll park back on the back side of the RV. We'll just park it right here. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, stop driving. And take a look at it. We still got 7% diesel, so we do need to definitely find a source of diesel. If we can't, then I'm going to need to look into swapping the engine out. Current engine is a perfect condition 6.5 liter V8 diesel engine. So I've got an engine in the stockpile. I was planning on swapping it out for the one in the luxury RV. I'll have to do some thinking on exactly how I want to deal with it. We might have to run around and try to hit some more gas stations and gather up some more materials. So That's another thing I'll have to think about. And for the moment, let's make this the cart, make that the vehicle, turn off the filter, and grab everything. Alright, so car is now empty. Ah, that's a pretty vehicle. I'm liking the looks of that. Alright, so we're back in base and take a look here. Let's I'm gonna drop my standard equipment here. Just drop everything. Alright. Alright, let's drop the cordless drill, soldering iron. Gonna keep those. We'll drop that there. Move over. Drop this stuff in our raw materials pile. And I'm gonna pick the welder up and the UPS up into my inventory. Put the smoker in its pile. Alright. So, if you look here, the welder's at 55 now, so yes, it's trickle charging. So, as long as I've got the UPS and a UPS tool that is not fully charged, it's going to drain power slowly out of this and into this. So, just to experiment, I'm going to let 30 minutes go by. And then take a look again, and you can see. So, alright, I'm glad I got that figured out, so I was a little confused there. I thought it would be just an instant power up, so this makes more sense. So much more reasonable. Alright, so that's not too bad. But what we're going to do is drop both of those onto our charging system, and we'll let the base charge it back up again. We're at... yeah, pretty low on the battery. I'm not going to turn the engine on to try to charge that back up. It'll just burn the gas, and we won't make that much energy out of it. We don't have enough all around to really deal with. So over here, whoops, right here, we've got 3 more batteries. They're almost all 3 completely full, so I'll just swap those out as needed if we run out. So, all right. So we're letting that charge up again. That'll take a little bit of time. Make sure the recharger's on, so we're fine there. And nothing else on, so we're not burning anything there. So now we need to make some decisions. We got a nifty new vehicle in the area, so I'm really liking it. It's, like I said, a bit of a wide load, but just having this armor, heavy-duty frame and armor is going to be really helpful. So we got a heavy-duty frame with spiked plating in front. So we're going to repair that here in just a minute. When the welder gets charged up, we'll come back over and finish repairing that. I basically want to get this thing fully repaired. So this will be our initial vehicle that we're going to run around in. The main thing I needed to make a decision on regarding this vehicle is that engine. So it's got a 6.5 liter V8 diesel engine. Question number 1, can we create diesel? No recipe for it. At least none that I've found. I'm not 100%. I've never actually tried to create diesel fuel before. I'm not certain it's something that's craftable. I assume with high level food or cooking skill and chemistry stuff, you can create some, but I could be wrong. So there's ethanol. So I'm a little unsure on that part of it. So here in our pile for vehicle stuff, we do have a 6.5 liter V8 engine in perfect condition. This is the one I was anticipating putting into our RV. So taking a look at the RV, right there, it's got a 4.0 liter V6 diesel engine. It's got a little bit of damage to it. So my original goal or plan was to do that. Now, if we can find enough solar panels, I can throw an electric motor in this thing and we can just make the base run off of electricity. We'd want to make sure we have lots of spare batteries and we get the thing fully charged up, and we're just going to have to plaster the roof with solar panels to do that. But that would make it independently able to move without having to worry about fuel supply. The downside being, if it's overcast for an extended period, you're not going to get any charge up in your batteries. And we just have not yet found, I don't believe, enough solar vehicles to make me confident that I'd be able to put enough on top of this thing. So, choices. Other things we're going to do with this vehicle. There's too many seats. I'm never going to use that many NPCs in this playthrough. If we can keep this one guy alive, I'll be pretty happy. We might, maybe, get one more, but that's too many seats in this thing. So I'm thinking of ripping out all 3 of those rear seats and making them either cargo carrying or some other kind of function. So I'm a little undecided on that. So neither of the machine guns have any ammo. I'd eventually like to get a UPS charging system in there as well. So many choices, so many choices. Well, to add to the list of things we need to acquire before we make any kind of a big move, probably going to be necessary to find another engine. I think I would like to stick with gas instead of diesel engines. So that, I think, is a definite wise move. So I'm going to, the base is going to be the last thing that's going to move. So I'm going to go ahead and do the engine swap out in this vehicle. Get rid of the diesel engine and go ahead and put that V8 engine in here that runs on standard gas. Then we can use this much more effectively for driving around. So I would have no hesitation running over brutes and other types of semi-dangerous zombies with this thing. But we are going to be on the lookout for gasoline, solar panels, another engine. Yeah, and we haven't yet made a decision on this vehicle. It doesn't have very good materials for the solar side, so damaged solar panel, heavily damaged, and damaged. So 2 yellow condition solar panels. The red ones I don't think would be even worth throwing on. It does have a good swappable storage battery case and battery, and that battery's red, but I think I can repair it or not. Yeah, apparently not. Might have to pull it. So this is probably going to get parted out. So we'll see what we can pull out of here to be useful. And then this is also going to get taken apart for parts. So I'm thinking of throwing the spikes on the front of the RV, just to be careful. We're one short to fully get the front end done, so we'll keep an eye out for an additional one we can throw on there, or see if we can build one. I don't know what it takes to build those. Got a 4.0 liter V6 engine in good condition. That's not gonna be a full replacement. Well, that's the same engine. Alright, there's a plan. Let's do that. So we'll pull the engine out of here, throw it into the RV, and take the engine in our stockpile to throw it into here. I'd rather have a V8, because we're going to get this thing weighed down, so we'll do that kind of last. If we don't find another engine before we need or feel the desire to move this, then we'll use the one here. But we're going to keep an eye out for a V8. Yeah. And then the car here should have somewhere, yeah, large electric motor. So that will also go into the RV in anticipation of us being able to run it off of just electricity. So that gives us both engines that I can use in a pinch for the RV, plus the engine for the armored car. Alright, so yep, good plan. So can grab this and drag it around without the casters, so that's good. Let's down here, get items, grab that engine. Super heavy, instantly makes us tired. So let's drop that here, and we'll use this method to move the thing. Alright, so right there next to the driver's seat is where the engine's located. So if we go to remove it, right there, remove attached parts first. That would be what, the alternator probably? Alright, we now have a 6.5 liter V8 engine. Now next we need to worry about the fuel tanks. We've got 4.8 liters of diesel fuel in there currently. I'm kind of curious, just what is the point of this telescopic crane? I brought it over here assuming I would need it for the engine swap out, but it didn't indicate there was going to be anything necessary, so I'm not real sure what this is for, honestly. We'll drag it back into the base. It's foldable and draggable, so I do definitely want to keep a hold of it just in case it's used for something I'm not aware of, but it didn't appear to be necessary for what we just did. And we're going to do the reverse to get this thing back out of here. So I still want to keep it available. It's here. Alright, so the engine's back on our car parts pile. Let's get this wheel out of the way while we're over here doing this. Alright, pick the right options here. Alright. I need something that will hold enough fuel. And 2-liter metal tanks, not enough. Don't have, I've got some gallon jugs. Let's grab the gallon jugs. Maybe that'll be enough by itself. So if we didn't bring a rubber hose with me to siphon it out. Just a little bit left. Alright, so the 2 tanks are empty now. And this is diesel fuel I'm not really planning to use at the moment. Let's just pour it into here since we've already got some diesel fuel in these tanks, and we'll sort that out later. So refill that tank. Right there, refill. Oops, refill that tank right there. Alright. Okay, so first job done. We've now got our standard engine, 6.5 liter V8 engine inside of our armored car, and I want to get the welder back over here to finish doing some repairs. And then we'll think about any mods we want to do to it. I think for the moment though, we're going to call it good right there. I'm going to do some thinking about the various vehicles and what we want to do. I don't want to spend a lot of time here in the base. I've been meaning to get out and about, but getting that armored car up and running is, I think, going to be very helpful, because that will cut down on the amount of time I have to be fiddling around with some zombies out in the open. I'll just run them over in that vehicle. So probably what I'll do is, in between episodes, I'm just going to get the welder charged up and just go over that vehicle and make sure all the frame pieces and the front end is completely repaired. I won't do any major mods to it beyond what I've already done. I just want to get it all repaired up, and then I'll also get geared up and we'll do some expeditions out in the towns. I want to do some more combat and keep things interesting that way, so we're going to go on some more scavenging runs looking for some of the critical items. We still need solar cells, we still need, or solar panels, we still need fuel, a few other types of raw materials that are pretty critical for what we're trying to do. But I think that's the main things that are kind of putting me in a roadblock right now, is getting an adequate fuel supply and also getting plenty of solar panels. So we might just tool around in our vehicle looking for solar cars to strip down, running over zombies, hopping out and jumping into any doctor's offices or gun stores we might find. And we might even take a trip kind of down southeast-ish, see how clear it is down towards Plainville, because we're really not that far away. We could get down there pretty quickly in the vehicle, so I'll think about it. But at the very least, I want to make sure I've hit all of the gas stations. I know there's been a couple that I've skipped in these local towns, so I've got a few things I'm going to check, basically. So, again, and as always, do hit the like, comment, and subscribe options to let me know how I'm doing. It improves the channel metrics, so it's very helpful to bring new players and new viewers onto the channel, which will help me out so that I know I'm doing well, and will let me continue to bring you guys content. So anything you can do in that regard would be helpful. I've also got my Discord linked in the description, so feel free to visit me there and join in on some conversations we're having about the games, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.